Hello, and welcome to 97.9 Unity Radio, the best sports talk show in the 508 and all of central Massachusetts and pretty much all of the world, I would say. We're conquering
We're big in Dubai.
state by state, nation by nation. We just live to entertain, and everyone loves to hear what we have to say, especially the voice of reason.
Yes,
Which is Frank Cristiano.
that is me. Thank you.
And then the greatest influencer who's sitting in his library reading up and gaining knowledge in his virtual background. I love it. He looks so studious. It's Coach Schuman, David Schuman. I love it when I get to see you 3 times in one day. And that we have passed 1 million subscribers. And I put a link to the Coach Schuman YouTube channel on Husky Huddle. So, yeah. So I said, go to that. I said, for the best coverage in UConn football, men's and women's basketball, and basically anything to do with the UConn Huskies, go to Coach Schuman Sports and Entertainment and hit the subscribe button. Also, you will have incredible guests like coaches who will explain the recruiting process to you, how to navigate through the NCAA and all the changes. And you will get shorts and reels like none other. It really could be its own television station.
Hey, did the millionth subscriber get something?
I'm supposed to get something. I have to fill out something to get it.
And the thing said I was a million subscribers, so
golden YouTube.
You were?
yeah, I think I was a million subscribers.
You were the millionth subscriber. Okay.
Yeah, because I told Dave as soon as I came on that I made a difference, and he's like, "You're right. You know what? We went from 99,999 to 1 million,
Right?
Because
You brought one person on board.
me.
You.
Yeah, that was it.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that's what happened.
How lucky.
Quite the week. Quite the week in the NFL. A lot going on, and since I have both of you here, I think we should start with the good old Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Since they're Commanders or whatever, since you're back on the reservation,
They'll be back to the Redskins. Don't worry.
Yeah. It was an interesting game. It was one that nobody quite expected. But, Frank, what would you say about your team's performance?
It was 3 quarters of lackluster football, and then that fourth quarter just exploded. I mean, bottom line, I hope every Redskin fan has a cardiologist on hand, because the ups and downs and the ebbs and coming back and then scoring and having the extra point flubbed. I mean, it's just it was disappointing. I didn't see this coming. I expected Washington at home to be able to pull out a victory against the Cowboys. But I'll tell you what it was. It was very entertaining. And Washington may have lost, their running back for the season. Robinson took a shot to the knee.
Oh, he did.
He took a pretty good shot to the knee and got rolled over actually on it, and it looked like the knee popped one way or another. Whether it's medial collateral or lateral, you don't know. But
yeah.
I thought it was boring until it got exciting. Then it got too exciting, and then it was horrible for me being a Redskin fan.
And Dave, Cooper Rush pulling out a win. I mean, who would have ever anticipated that?
Cooper Rush was 5-1 or 6-1 last year as a starter.
I know he was.
So, I mean, last year I was saying, I get why you're going to play Dak. I get it. But he was 6-1. So, I think he's a good quarterback,
for sure.
I'm off the Dak train completely. So, I'll actually trade.
You're off the Dak train.
The Cowboys
trade is on fire.
For Daniel Jones. Trade for Daniel Jones. I'll take Daniel Jones. I bet you he would do fine with the Cowboys.
It was funny, though, because of Micah Parsons. They seem to have been reading him more than running at him. That's, because we talked about
No, they are. Okay.
having success. Teams running at him. Washington chose to read him, and he is good enough to where he can really play both.
Oh, he's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
I would run at him. I would not read him.
Yeah.
That's
I
stupid.
wouldn't read him either. Yeah.
To me, why would you read the best athlete? You read the worst athlete.
Exactly. That's the guy you want to put in a bind. And then
you want to put him in a bind. You want to run him over.
And then I saw when they put Trey Lance in for a play, and it just got absolutely decimated.
Well, how about Kevontae Turpin's return?
Oh,
the first guy really. I mean, I'm sure there's been other returns, but his spin move was I'm sure it's reactive, but a brilliant move in that wall that you come down against. It's actually I never thought about it until I saw it, and obviously he's a great athlete. Got to be able to execute it. I don't know if people can. Very few guys probably can. But if you think about it, if you spin on that wall, there is nobody behind. If you get through there,
no, there's nobody there.
The way that thing is lined up, there's no one behind there.
Yeah, you're behind the entire line of defense, and you're gone. It's house call. So
obviously it was a reactive thing. I bet you he's been experimenting with different ways to break it because it's new.
They work on it in practice now. Yeah.
They work on the spin move against the wall?
I don't know. I don't know if they work on it in practice, but to watch it, it was pretty unbelievable.
The spin was amazing. That was an amazing spin.
Yeah.
And he's just so fast. He's fast enough to then outrun guys. I think he's the fastest guy in the NFL.
Do you think that Dallas has a chance to turn it around?
No.
Not even close. No. They just
might win some games. I like Cooper Rush.
And you still think Cooper Rush over Trey Lance?
Trey Lance sucks.
How do you know he sucks, though, really? I mean, you haven't seen a ton of them to say he sucks. I mean, what if he's Michael Vick?
San Francisco. Wasn't he the guy that was in San Francisco?
Yeah, he's the guy San Francisco traded the house for, and then they dumped him after a year.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, he sucks. Okay. I listen. I believe in second chances, and I hope that
we should go get Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones will be fine with someone in a supporting cast. I really believe that.
I think it'll be a starter. Somewhere.
But
the Giants are so brilliant. By the way, they started Tommy DeVito.
Well,
and Tommy DeVito got his ass smacked around.
Well, of course they did. You know what?
The Giants.
They all deserve to get fired. They all deserve.
They're dumber than the Jets.
Yes, they are. They are dumber than the Jets. The Jets at least try to get better. The dumbest
organization in the NFL is the Giants. At least the Jets are trying.
The Jets tried to get better.
They're trying to win.
Saquon Barkley makes that move by the Giants GM look even more juicy. Right?
Oh yes.
I
became an Eagles fan. I was never an Eagles fan, obviously, because I love the Cowboys. But now I'm an Eagles fan.
I went back again to watch the HBO Hard Knocks.
Yeah. When
he has the call with him. Hmm? And it just made me want to throw my remote through the TV, where he's just so nonchalant about, oh, by the way, we're not gonna make you an offer at this time or renew you, but why don't you test the free agent waters and get back to us, and maybe we can work something out.
And Joe, there were guys trying to convince him not to do it.
Of course,
they were like, where do you get? I mean, that someone's going to offer. We don't know that for sure and all that. And then Shane goes, well, there are plenty of good free agent running backs out there right now.
Yeah,
but you guys got none of them. Yeah. You've got none of them.
Didn't even make an offer to anyone.
No one.
No one. You go with Devin Singletary.
You went in thinking Devin Singletary is going to replace Saquon Barkley.
That's the answer.
You're right.
Frank has said that from the get-go. And the funniest part of all of it is the Giants did not think they were going to replace Saquon Barkley. So I guess they were, quote unquote, going to throw more, but they never threw the ball.
No.
So that's
no,
the funny part of all of it.
No.
Listen, I hate being critical of organizations because I think there's a lot that goes into it that most people don't know.
Of course.
But the Giants organization is horrible.
Which is
horrible.
sad because they never
The
used
GM, I don't know the personnel people or anything like that, but if I looked, I probably do from when I was an agent. But the GM is awful. His decision making is awful. The head coach is worse than the GM, in my opinion. His decisions are stupidity. And he chastised Daniel Jones supposedly in a meeting in front of the whole entire team.
Yes. Yep.
Took the seal off his chest and put it on Tim Boyle, by the way, who he used to represent. Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle's like, I just got here. WTF? Like, what do you? Why am I involved in this? You know?
And then he gets cut the next day or whatever.
I mean, exactly. Like, why am I involved in this? I'm just happy to be here. Okay. And Daniel Jones. I mean, Daniel Jones showed this class. He showed his class. He should walk out that door and stick the middle finger up to that organization on the way out. See ya.
He was going to be the fourth string quarterback. They were going to keep him active. Yeah. Well, I think he asked for his release, but they okayed it.
I mean, that's just such a slap in the face, dude. Like, I mean, I don't ever advocate hitting a coach, but if there was one possible situation where that might be acceptable, if somebody did that to me and I was sitting in the room, I mean, Daniel Jones, I think, is going to be a good player in the NFL. He showed restraint. He showed class. Now, he was very upset about the whole thing in his interview or whatever.
Of course he was.
But he deserves to be. He could be upset like that. I just think I think those guys are honestly pieces of shit.
They pulled the rug under. They pulled the rug from under him. They gave him no supporting cast other than neighbors.
Those are always the guys that demand loyalty. You know, your general manager, your head coach. You got to be loyal to the team, to the program, to the coaching staff, and then they were the first ones that stuck it to him.
Yeah, of course. Joe Shane. Yep. I think he is
his son should have been the general manager. His son was smarter than him.
Well, and then they had their one of the tackles went down. I think it was the left tackle, and they were already down because the starter got injured in the preseason. So they moved the starting right tackle to left tackle. He gets hurt. So now they got like the third string guy going in, and he had no shot. Like you could have put a cone out there. And DeVito was just getting rushed.
That listen. If I was DeVito, obviously you're excited for the opportunity.
Yeah,
but give me a break, dude. The one guy was like the first pick. I'm not saying that DeVito isn't a functional backup or anything, but give me a break. Like Daniel, all of a sudden DeVito was gonna, dude.
He's going to lead you to victory.
Don't the Giants understand that sometimes a player gets lucky like DeVito did last year for a brief period of time? He got lucky, dude. Yeah. He got lucky. He hit some things right. He got a little momentum for a little bit. And then after game 3, basically the gig was up. That was it.
Yeah, but listen, maybe strategically, this is a way to place yourself to get one of the top 2 picks in the draft.
But again,
who's
the answer?
Screw it up. The Giants will screw it up. They make Jerry Jones look like a genius. That's hard.
You think Shedeur Sanders is going to have that type of success in the NFL?
You think Shedeur Sanders is going to go to the Giants? You think his father is going to allow him to go with the Giants? He'll hold on.
Absolutely not. You're 100% right, Frank. No way in hell.
No way.
They're from the South, man.
Right.
They ain't going there.
Yeah. Is they're going to pull an Eli Manning and demand, like Eli was drafted by the Chargers and then they swapped.
Yeah.
Ended up trading. You think that'll happen?
Yeah, sure he would. The Giants are a dumpster fire.
Well, they're a dumpster fire with gasoline.
Right. With the fireman pouring gasoline on the fire.
Yes.
So bottom line, who would want to go there right now? No one would. Now, granted, who do they bring in at the end of this season?
Everyone's going to be gone in that organization after.
Yeah, right. So you're going to have a clean slate. So who do they? They're all
Allegedly not. Allegedly not. They're going to give Dayball and Shane another year.
No, they're not.
Well,
no, they're not.
I'm trying to think. This is Dayball's third year.
No, they're not.
He made the playoffs his first year. He had a bad year last year. He had a bad year.
The decision to get rid of Daniel Jones is going to be why he gets fired.
Well, yeah. Now that Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley are both gone, yes.
Hey, listen. Here, let me give you another conspiracy theory. Let me give you another theory. Who was the coach of the Patriots a couple years ago?
Yeah, no, he will be the head coach. Maybe
he'll be the
maybe.
head coach of the Giants.
He'll be for one of them.
He'll be the head coach of the Giants.
I hope so for them. I hope so.
I think he'll go to one of them. I think he'll go to the Jets or
he's going to one of the two. There's
he
no doubt in my
Jets.
mind.
He'll go to the Giants.
Well, he always got along great with the Maras.
Because you know why? He will be general manager and head coach.
Yeah, they would give it to him.
Yep.
Mara would give it to him. But I don't think with his age, I don't know he can turn it around, and it's 76 years old.
Donald Trump just got elected. He's 78.
Well, I know. I'm saying,
and he's running the whole country. Damn it.
Belichick is 71, I think, or 72.
Yeah.
So you got to figure it's going to be like a three-year project to get it.
I bet you it won't be that long.
Well, I hope it's not.
I bet. Listen, give him a good quarterback. Give him a rookie coming out or a veteran coming in.
Yes.
He's got. There is talent there.
The quarterback market is
there. Yes, but there is talent there. There's a little bit
with Tracy.
I like the wide receiver sets. I like who they have there. They need a running back. They know
that Tracy's fine.
Tracy's okay, but if you can get a better running back, you get a better running back.
Though.
Right, but you got to get a better running back. But bottom line, what they need is some offensive linemen. They need offensive linemen like no tomorrow.
Yeah, they play Evan Neal.
They need some secondary people like no tomorrow. Right. So, I mean, there's holes to be filled, but you put a guy in that actually can come up with a feasible plan and has a level head on him and has actually won before. I mean, I think that could be a turnaround within a year.
With the way the NFC East is built, probably.
Yeah.
They could have a shot in the NFC East because there are the Eagles are the Eagles. They go through stretches where they look awful.
Right.
So
they're catching fire right now. They're not going to look awful. They're clicking right at the right time going into the playoffs.
They are. They're peaking remember last year they started 10-0.
Correct.
And then they didn't win again.
Right. So the opposite has happened so far. Well, where they struggled beginning early and mid-season, and now all of a sudden here comes the roll. I like what they have. They look good.
Dave, I wanted to ask you about Kansas City. Mahomes had said that he'd like to have some blowout wins. He said that every week winning, they just broke the record for most wins by one score or less in a single season, and the season's not even over. Do you still buy them as Super Bowl contenders, winners of the AFC? Do you think they're as good as they are?
It's going to be either them or the Bills.
That's what I think too. I think it's either them or the Bills. I don't think there's anyone close to replace.
There isn't, but there's. I mean, that 1A of actually the two teams are playing tonight.
Yeah.
Which is San Diego and Baltimore. There's that 1A there because they have the it factor at quarterback. I think both teams do. Yep. Granted, Lamar Jackson, falters when the heat is on. Whereas, Herbert hasn't been there at all yet, but man, he's cool, level-headed. I think that, and San Diego is great. They're good defensively, and they can run the ball. So, I like that team too.
Yeah, I like the way that San Diego has marketably changed under Harbaugh.
They changed in 1 year. What did they do? They went out. They took the OC from Baltimore.
I know.
Right, and they picked up both of Baltimore's running backs.
Well, and they got rid of Keenan Allen.
Yeah. Guy's always injured. Well, why keep somebody in the field who's always injured?
And the AFC West is tough, but obviously with Kansas City, the Raiders are another dumpster fire. And the Broncos are surprisingly doing well. I mean,
how about Bo Nix probably being the best out of a lot of. I mean, granted, Jaden Daniels is there, but Jaden's having a little dry spell right now. How about Bo Nix maybe being the cream of the crop of the quarterbacks coming out? Yeah,
Bo Nix.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of his path Did he
ran out of Auburn?
All
They
right,
ran
so
him
he
out of
started
there.
at Auburn. Okay, he started at Auburn, and he didn't go right to Oregon, though, right? Didn't he go somewhere in between?
I thought he
No, I think
did.
went to
Yeah.
Oregon.
Okay, so he just went to Auburn to Oregon. Okay,
Okay.
and then he had his career resurrected at Oregon, and he played very well. And because I know he ended up playing for 6 years because of COVID and redshirting and everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, his development has been incredible. If you
So
watch him
is
early on-
that because of the head coach? Do you think
Sean Payton?
Payton being a quarterback coach, everyone says he's
Payton's a jerk, but
yeah.
no, I think that he's handled him with kid gloves because he knows that he needs him, whereas he was a jerk off to Russell Wilson.
Well, I think he didn't want Russell Wilson.
No, he didn't want him.
Bottom line, as soon as he arrived there, he didn't want Russell Wilson.
No, he knew he was stuck.
So now he got a hold of someone that was young and that he can mold and develop and turn into the quarterback that he wants. That's
yeah.
I mean, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
And Nick's is. I mean, I think what was it in the last? I think it's the last 6 games he's had. He's had 16 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
No, he's been on
on fire.
Tear.
Been on fire.
He's been on an absolute tear. So that's the AFC West, and then obviously the Raiders are maybe having buyer's remorse with Antonio Pierce, bringing him in as the head coach. You know, I don't know. I watched the last part of the season last year, and I thought he was good. I thought the guys played hard for him. I thought he had a mentality. We're going to run the ball.
The Raiders are another organization. They are another organization like the Giants. I don't think it's
Mark Davis.
I don't think it's so much the athletes. Granted, I don't think they brought in enough athletes. I mean, I think they lack. I mean, you let Jacobs go at running back. Who do you replace him with?
Yeah,
nothing. You let Carr go at quarterback. And now, Aiden is the new head guy because what's his name broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
So he's out.
Well, you like Gardner.
I like Gardner Minshew. I think I like him more as a person than a quarterback. But I like Gardner Minshew, man. I think that'd be a dude I want to hang out with and pound a couple beers with.
Definitely. He's great.
Bottom line. I mean, what did they bring in? I mean, Bauer's great draft pick, right? He's turned into a hell of a tight end.
Oh, yeah.
But what did they bring in defensively? How are they helping out the other side of the ball? I mean, Crosby's Crosby, but what else do you have back there? That's
nothing. And that's
right. So teams are running through, Vegas.
They're not scoring
like nothing, right? So
trade Devontae Adams,
right? So so I think that's a lot of personnel decisions that they didn't bring in, a lot of help that they didn't accumulate for this upcoming season. So that does not go back to the head coach. It does not go back to the players. It goes back to the general manager and the owner of the team. I think if you look at the owners of the team's haircut, you can tell right off the bat they're fucked.
Because he's got the bowl cut.
He's got I don't know what the hell it is, man. A bowl, a thimble. I don't know what the hell he puts on his head. Whoever's hairdresser is, he's killed.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he was in the Beatles.
That's awful. But bottom line, what I'm telling you right now is that's almost a mirror image. The Raiders are a mirror image of what the Giants are.
I hope it's not that bad. I mean, that's very scary. Please don't say that. I don't want to be a mirror image of them.
Right.
The other news, obviously, the Saints, they get their second win under their interim coach. Dennis Allen was fired. New guy comes in, rips 2 right off the bat. Frank?
Yeah, I mean, I think but a lot of times that change inspires players, inspires everyone to maybe perform
for a little while.
Exactly. So let's see what the long haul brings. I think that team has enough talent to compete. So how did they win before? That was the confusing part, and I guess that's why Allen was gone. So I think it's a good start for them. Let's see where they land.
Dave?
Yeah, I actually think the same thing on this one. I really don't have a whole lot of input. Change can just sometimes be a temporary thing, like it's a breath of fresh air. It's not necessarily, you got to really wait and see to see if there's really anything there.
Yeah.
I'm not huge.
I agree with you.
I'm not huge in, these interim coaches.
It's a tough situation to walk into either.
I think very rarely when you hire them, if they win a lot, very rarely does it translate. So, if they became a head coach. The majority of the time, my thought process is I don't give a shit how many wins they have. As soon as the season ends, I'm getting rid of everybody and getting a new group in there. So, because I think that's like a trek. You know what I mean? Like, oh, new guy, brief time period, short time period. The team isn't prepared. Other teams aren't preparing for this person's coaching style. They don't know how he coaches. If he's a decent leader or a decent coach, he might be able to pull up some wins. I don't buy into it long term.
Well, what was frustrating, the Raiders had that Rich Biscotti, who took over after Gruden got fired.
Wasn't that Rich Bisaccia?
Whatever.
Yeah. It's my neighbor's
I like
cousin.
Biscotti.
It's my neighbor's cousin.
Biscotti. I like Biscotti.
No. It's my neighbor's cousin, Rich Bisaccia.
Okay. Well, I like Biscotti. That's all I was trying to say. He got the Raiders to the playoffs, and then they didn't retain him. I mean, he gets put in the horrible situation, leads into the playoffs, and gets handed his walking papers. He could be the head coach right now of the Raiders, and their problems would be solved. Instead, they bring in Josh McDaniels, who had success nowhere as a head coach, and they set their franchise back years. Aiden O'Connell, I don't think could quarterback East Carolina right now, let alone the Las Vegas Raiders. Like I have not been impressed with him at all. I think he's just a disaster.
All right, so between him and Gardner Minshew, they had no shot going in the season then.
So switching gears.
Wait a minute, Dave. Could you pick me out a book right there behind you on the shoulder? Something. How to win with a shitty general manager and owner.
Dave fell asleep during our podcast.
Hold on a second. I think I might be able to pull that one out there. Hold on.
You got one? You got that book?
Yeah, right there.
Oh wait, no, it's Glenn Beck's book.
Oh, Glenn Beck. He'll tell you how to win.
Dave fell asleep during our podcast today, which was kind of hilarious. He was out
yes,
for like.
I actually, Frank. I'm not kidding. I don't even know. They went into something.
Tyler was screaming. Tyler kept
I was
screaming.
like, I don't know what they're.
Oh, he froze.
We lost him.
That's all right.
We lost him. Because he wants to sleep. That's why.
Oh, I was saying. Yeah, you guys were talking about something, and I just got I was already tired already after 2 podcasts.
Yeah,
and that was the third.
Before.
I was already I was starting to fade.
Yeah, you were out. I've never seen anything like it.
And then I was out, dude. I mean, I was out. A solid 5-minute nap, solid.
Well, it was the only reason it was funny because Tyler just kept yelling. He kept yelling at you, Dave. He would stop yelling. I was like, Tyler, just shut up. Let him sleep. Let's go.
He's tired. Let him relax.
Tyler couldn't let it go. He couldn't let it go that you fell asleep.
Relax.
And you just boost Tyler's ego so much, and you think he's great.
I love Tyler, dude. He's sweet, dude.
He is, man. He is. He's crazy. Yeah, but he is. And there's
he'd probably make me nervous if I was in a nightclub with him. But other than that, he's great. Great.
Oh, I've been playing nightclubs with him, and it's fun going to clubs with him.
Oh no, fun! I know. That's what I'm saying. So much fun. I may not make it home.
Because if he goes to a club and he drinks, what do you think he wants to do?
It's a fight.
No, he just wants to fight.
Yeah,
it's not about the girls. He just wants to beat somebody up.
He wants to beat up guys and put girls in rear naked chokes.
Yeah, that's what he does. He goes. He likes to give him the 1-2. That's it. Yeah, he loves the fight. Yeah. But hanging out with Tyler is always an adventure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But you put Tyler over too much and then make him, see, you can't feed his ego. He already thinks
he says some great things. I have to say when when he's not
he does
in the bag. He says some
not
great
high.
things.
And he's not high.
He's not smoking in his car.
No, he does. He made some good points. Although I completely disagreed with him on the blitz. He wanted Syracuse or UConn to run against Syracuse.
Dog?
No, he wanted to run saw switch.
Yeah.
Sam
he called it 6-man dog.
Yeah, Sam Will off the edge where the ends go wide and the Sam and Will come inside. I said you don't cover zero blitz Kyle McCord because number one, they weren't getting home. Number two, we can't cover long enough. And Arande Gadsden just made us. Arande Gadsden looked like he was playing with a bunch of Pop Warner kids.
Well, I actually think if they really wanted to blitz him, 6-man is not bringing one more than they have, right? Because I would have. If you wanted to go zero, you're gonna have to go zero,
right, and
line up like guys literally like it looks like you see it all the time in college now. It looks like a youth football defense. All the guys are lined up across on the line, and they just get after it.
We did that a couple times.
That's usually pretty good for sacking everybody. So
we did that a couple times. We had 6 guys all walked up.
It works.
Either we would bring the 2 linebackers inside, or we would bring one and then drop the other.
You could drop a guy, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. We just couldn't match up with them. But I wanted to switch gears and talk about Indiana, Ohio State. Indiana just kind of got brought back to earth. What were your thoughts on Indiana and Ohio State?
I just think they don't have enough guys to match up. I mean, I just think overall, I saw some of his comments where he said, the noise, which I don't know if he meant that, because obviously you should be preparing for it being noisy in a game like that at Ohio State. But a couple other comments, but that were a little maybe odd. But I just thought overall, I just don't think they have enough of the guys. Like my guys over here have a payroll of $30 million.
That's true.
Your guys over there have a payroll of 15 million. My guys that are getting paid 30 are probably better than your guys that are getting paid 15.
That's true. And I also wanted to ask you, Frank, I went to the UConn-Syracuse game, as you know or don't care. Yes. I got to go into the box because Mike Burton's brother, Joe, played at Syracuse and is in charge of their NIL. And Kyle McCord's father was in the box. And I got to meet him and talk with him. Not a big fan of Ryan Day.
No. Well, that's why I think he's at Syracuse.
Well, that's what I didn't understand. Didn't Ryan Day, didn't they go to they've gone to the playoffs every year, right? Besides last year?
Ryan Day basically cut him for the other guy.
Right. But I'm saying before that, didn't he lead them to the playoffs in 2022?
Yes.
Yeah. Or 2023. 2022 he did. Yeah. So I'm just shocked that he gave up on McCord so easily. And I'm just curious as to why.
I'll tell you why. Because he can. He
has
a multitude.
I can take a shit and throw it on your window.
No, he has. But listen, he has a multitude of players coming through that program.
That's why
he can pick and choose. Yeah, and obviously he saw a dynamic.
Oh, okay.
In his replacement that he did not see in McCord.
Oh,
that's all.
All right.
I think it's more of the running dynamic.
Oh,
McCord is not. Okay. McCord's not. He's not immobile.
No,
but he's not a runner. No. Okay. And if you go back to the last, I don't know, 6 Ohio State quarterbacks,
probably Justin Fields, you hate.
Right, but they were all runners.
Yes,
and they could throw. They're athletes.
Yes.
And that's why I think he got disenfranchised with McCord, and probably one thing led to another, and probably a little backdoor blowout, and that's it. You're on a bus. You're on a bus to Syracuse.
I'm just trying to understand the timeline. McCord played. Was it 4 years at Ohio State? Because he only has 1 year at Syracuse, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think he played 4 years at Ohio State.
Okay,
but he only has. You're right. Maybe he's on the roster for you.
But he only has one. This is his own last year of eligibility. Okay. Correct. So he transfers to Syracuse. Okay.
Right.
And this is after, he played well at Ohio State,
right,
throughout his entire career.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he wasn't.
Dave, you wouldn't say he was bad.
I don't think he was as dynamic at Ohio State as he is at Syracuse right now. But of course, I don't think Ohio State asked him to do as much as Syracuse. In Syracuse, he's got the keys to the car.
He threw for 400 and something.
And Ohio State, he did not have that.
Dave, did you think at Ohio State, would you rank him as a top 5 quarterback in the country last year or no?
think Frank is actually definitely right on this one. As far as I followed it, I think there were times when he struggled last year in games. If I remember, and I think that was part of the conflict, that he wasn't like this dynamic player. Now he's become that at Syracuse, but he was struggled at times at Ohio State.
Well, he's also playing an easier schedule in the ACC too, which I think makes
that's true. Yeah, 100% true. Yeah,
yeah, but it's just surprising that Ohio State dumped him. I don't even know when it happened. Did he practice in the spring or did he declare for the portal?
No, he was done. Season was over.
He was out. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he was gone. There was a conflict between, it wasn't said, but basically there was thought to be that there was a conflict between the father and Day.
And Day, yes, okay, and which I clearly could observe. And well, no, I mean
that's great. What were the exact words, Steve, in the clubhouse?
Are you allowed to share that?
I can't really repeat them, but he
I get it.
Obstinate, difficult, stubborn, too hard on his kid.
Yeah.
He felt he blamed him kind of for everything.
That I agree with.
He took all the blame. Any credit didn't go to him.
Right.
I think I agree with that as well. That what Frank just said, and I get it, dude. I get it. I think that's part of the overall issue. So if you watch, I watched a lot of the Ohio State games last year. There were times when he didn't look that dynamic. Having said that, he still was probably better than the overwhelming majority of quarterbacks. But this guy who took his place was like a highly touted guy. So that was part of it, like a really, really highly touted guy. I mean, only at these top schools can you kind of, replace a great guy with another guy. Might be like, it's like replacing it's like replacing a second rounder with a first rounder at these schools.
Yeah, and listen, I think it's a win-win for both programs.
It ended up being a win-win,
because Ohio State got what they want. This is what they wanted.
Yes,
that's fine.
Yeah,
if he falls into the Justin Fields, C.J. Stroud, all those guys are athletes and quarterbacks.
Correct.
And for McCord, I mean, bottom line, if he was at Ohio State and still playing, probably wouldn't be looking as good as far as a prospect for the draft as he is right now at Syracuse, slinging the ball everywhere. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
No, he's been a complete difference maker from McCarthy from last year. And everyone thought McCarthy was good. And then remember we watched the Del Rio Wilson guy. He couldn't hit the broadside of a barn when he played quarterback. Remember him? He was a top quarterback from Mississippi.
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he played last year too when McCarthy was hurt.
Well, that's not
Who
McCarthy.
Was that?
It's not McCarthy.
No, it's Carlos Del Rio.
No.
Wilson.
But the last year's quarterback was not McCarthy for Syracuse.
Yeah, it was Garrett Schmidt.
No.
Garrett what?
No, it was
Garrett McCarthy.
No, it's not McCarthy.
What?
No, it's not.
Where was this?
Last year's quarterback for SU.
Garrett something.
No. I kid. He could run, throw. He was very athletic.
He was good.
Yeah, very athletic. He was good. Real good. It's not McCarthy.
I'm pretty sure it's McCarthy.
No. It's not.
Dave, are you looking it up?
Yes.
It's Garrett Schrader. Garrett Schrader.
Yeah.
Garrett Schrader. Sorry, it wasn't McCarthy.
McCarthy, Schrader. Sounds same.
Yeah, I got it right. Okay, so both teams won out. Now the next question. Alabama. All right. Everyone's concerned about the playoffs, and the loss here may knock Indiana out. Alabama, it's the first time they had 3 losses in a long time. And De Beer is getting crucified for it. Now, we talked about this. You go to the super conferences, the teams are going to beat up on each other. It's going to be expected. They said this could be the first time in I don't know how many years that the SEC championship game could have two teams with two losses going in. Do you think that that's ridiculous, or do you think that this is going to be the norm going forward? This is what they wanted. They wanted the money. They wanted the super conferences. Teams are going to beat up on each other, and they're mad because SEC teams have losses, they are not going to get as many playoff spots.
It doesn't matter who. I mean, okay, so you're a college football fan. Who do you want to see in the college football playoffs? You want to see BYU?
Yes.
And Army?
I would love to have seen Army.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah, you would have. It would have been that underdog feel. I understand that.
No, I know they don't stand.
But bottom line, as a competition standpoint,
they don't stand.
What do you want to see in that? You do want to see those SC
Georgia
teams. You want to see
Florida.
You want to see University of Central Florida in?
No, I'm saying you want to see Georgia.
Right.
You want to see Florida.
But what I'm saying
you want to see Miami.
So whether they have 2 losses, 3 losses,
Tennessee,
as long as they played top flight competition, and the equation system makes sense for everyone, then I think it's fine. If you got 2 losses, you're in. You got a team with 3 losses, but I think Alabama's not getting in, obviously.
Dave, do you think that if the SEC only gets 3 teams into the college football playoffs, that it's going to be highway robbery? Do you think they deserve more than 3 teams to get in?
So the way it looks right now, if they got 3 teams, you would have how many from the big whatever it's called 10, another 3.
The Big Ten, the ACC,
Big 12, you might get 1. Then the ACC you get 1.
The
At
Big
large,
12,
you get 1. Notre Dame is 1. That's 10.
Correct.
So
and then
they're gonna get 4.
I think they'll get 4, but the pundits think they're going to get 3. SMU, shocking everyone with the ACC.
Conference USA could be there could be 1 too.
No, SMU is in the ACC.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
SMU is winning the ACC right now. And if Miami beats Syracuse this week, it'll be SMU and Miami for the ACC championship. And then that winner obviously gets in. Now, question.
Listen, they invented NIL at SMU. They invented it.
They did the Pony Express.
When they heard, and we talked about this before. Yeah. When they heard, wait a minute, all we gotta do is raise money. Oh shoot, we're gonna do this.
They joined the ACC and said, we will not take any television money for 9 years. No problem. We got it. We'll pick it up.
That oil money is strong.
I agree.
Landman. You watched Landman, Frank?
No, I want to start watching. I just saw like little clips and highlights, but I want to start watching it. Billy Bob Thornton, right?
Yep, I started watching it.
I didn't expect though SMU to still have this much juice years later after all that.
Have you been to Dallas? Have you been to Dallas?
Well, yeah, I used to go there for the coaches convention. Yeah, Dallas is Dallas. Yeah.
Have you done business in Dallas?
Well, no, I haven't done business in Dallas, Dave. I can barely drive a car. I'm not doing business in Dallas.
SMU, man.
Do they play
right in the middle of Dallas?
Do they play
a alumni network is strong.
Okay.
Very, very strong, especially in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is, oil town, USA, along with.
Right.
I mean, that's the original. Have you seen the show? Frank definitely has. Dallas, the show.
I watched the revival of Dallas.
The revival was good until it was pretty good.
Until JR died. JR died.
Larry Hagman's the best.
In real life,
I love Larry Hagman.
But so you're saying if I go back,
God rest Larry Hagman.
If I go back and watch the real Dallas, I'll like it.
You'll love it.
Okay. All right. I'll go back and watch.
Frank, am I wrong?
Dallas. Good series.
Okay, I'll go back and watch it.
Listen, back when there was only 4 television channels, it was a great series.
Well, no, I've heard so much about it.
That's it. We had the A-Team, Love Boat. What else do we have? Different Strokes.
Dallas, Dynasty,
Dallas, yeah.
Falcon Crest.
That's right.
The Dukes of Hazzard was on reruns.
Oh, my God. Dukes of Hazzard, Magnum P.I. Come on.
Magnum P.I. was great.
It's a great show.
Knight Rider.
That was great.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you got the Hoff, so Hasselhoff.
Remember BJ and the Bear?
BJ
and the fuck. What?
BJ and the Bear.
Dude, there were so many classic.
We went on a cruise with him. Greg Evigan. That was the actor.
I don't want to watch BJ.
We went on a cruise with Greg Evigan.
I'll watch the Hulk like you like Lou Ferrigno.
The Hulk was great. The Bionic Man, the Bionic Woman.
The $6 million man.
I mean, the $6 million man, not Bionic Man. The $6 million man.
Yep.
Okay. But I will do that.
Was Steve. Let's see if you know anything about history. Who played the $6 million man?
Steve Austin.
That was his character's name.
Oh, I don't know then. I just know Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Lee Majors.
Oh, is Lee Majors? Okay. Wasn't
you ever watch Hill Street Blues?
Yes.
No.
Loved it.
No.
You know, who's famous from Hill Street Blues, Steve?
I'm younger than you guys.
I know, but you still got to know this stuff.
Who's famous from Hill Street Blues? I don't even.
The most famous guy from Hill Street Blues.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
David Caruso.
All right, I'll make an easier one for you. How about you know who you remember? You know who T.J. Hooker is?
Shatner.
Yeah, there you go.
Shatner was on Hill Street Blues.
No, he's T.J. Hooker.
No, he was T.J. Hooker. I was just switching. Yeah. I was just switching gears. Oh my god.
I'm a Shatner fan. I was
just switching gears. I was just trying to see if you knew a character. It might be a little bit easier for you.
No, I mean, I was a '90s.
T.J. Hooker was T.J. Hooker.
I was barely born in the '80s. You got to remember that.
T.J. Hooker was T.J. Hooker.
No, but so the college football playoffs, the way things are shaking out, were you surprised that Florida got the big win this weekend, Frank?
No, I was not. Florida's been on a little bit of a run since they announced that
Napier could be fired.
Napier's job is safe.
So they announced it's safe.
They announced it's safe. Yeah, job is safe. And since then, it's 3 wins in a row.
Oh, okay.
So
they announced. I didn't know that they announced that his job is safe. Oh.
I didn't know that
his job is safe. Yeah, that's as far as that's what I've heard. So I don't make that shit up.
I'll tell you this, he fought back. He fought back from being, dude. He was like on the out,
dead in the water. He was dead in the water.
Oh, he was dead in the water.
That guy fought back. He deserves credit for that.
Yep.
Yeah, he was dead man walking.
Do you think the guys? Do you think all the players that didn't like him were not performing, and we're putting him on the edge of being fired? We don't like this guy. We're not going to play hard for him, right? Then all of a sudden, the administration comes out and goes, "We're going to keep him," and they're like, shit.
Now we got
all right. Now we got to play. Let's play. What the hell? We got nothing to lose.
Now we got to turn on.
Cormani McClain at Florida. Cormani McClain, the guy that was with Colorado that kind of Deion ran out. That was like the 5-star.
Oh, I don't know.
I think he does. I think Florida does have Cormani McClain, and he struggled in the beginning, but now he's like balling out.
Were you surprised, Frank? Colorado losing?
Yeah, I was. Although you know what? I mean, Kansas beat who did Kansas beat the week before?
They beat somebody good last week too.
They beat a top 10 or top 12 team last week.
Okay.
They beat BYU.
That's BYU. That's what it was, right? So I mean, I don't know, maybe Kansas is for real.
Yeah.
Something's there, because I mean, I didn't expect. Deion made a great point after the game in the locker room, I guess. But he just said, bottom line, we believe the hype. We believe the press clippings, but we went out there and performed terribly, and I think that's part of the issue right there. And part of the issue is Kansas is pretty good.
Dave,
they're 5-6, but they
play tough
because they beat BYU and Colorado, who are now 3-4. And the top 2 are Arizona State and Iowa State. Did you see what happened with Arizona State at the end of the game?
Yeah. The stormed the field before the game was over.
Yeah. Yep. And they said that Iowa State could be playing for a conference championship for the first time in like 100 years, which I thought was crazy.
Wow.
That Iowa State, I didn't know that it's been that long that they played in the conference championship, and they're in the Big 12
good since Brock Purdy.
Right. So I'm sorry, I missed the Arizona State thing. What happened at Arizona State?
They stormed the field. They had to go back,
before
and I don't know.
The game was over, right?
Well, Dillingham was losing his mind during the storming of the field. I didn't understand exactly what was going on because obviously I didn't watch the game.
Okay.
But he was losing his mind. There's a video out there on it. And
okay. I think I remember now. Is this where they called a timeout to ice the kicker? And the kick missed and they stormed the field.
Yes, that might be what it was. It was something along those lines.
And they lost because they kicked the game-winning field goal. Yeah. Okay. I remember that now. But it's still like I read that it still could shake out where Colorado could make the Big 12 championship game.
Well, they all have 2 losses, all these teams.
No, they all do, but that's expected because they made the power conferences.
I'm just shy. How does Arizona State end up in the Big 12, man? That just it's so
because geography doesn't matter anymore.
I know
geography doesn't matter.
That whole Pac-10,
SMU's in the ACC.
What happened?
Cal's in the ACC.
The toughest conference to win the championship is the Pac-12. There's 2 teams.
Yeah, the two teams, Washington State and Oregon State.
Washington State, Oregon State. They're battling.
How does that happen?
How does that happen? I don't know. I don't know how there isn't. I mean, they put buyouts in place to prevent colleges from leaving, but I don't know how like Syracuse could pick up today and join the SEC if they got an invitation.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
My first year of college was at Arizona State.
Yeah,
it's a pack. It's a West Coast school.
Yes, you have no business.
You're a few hours away from the coast.
Well, I mean, the Big 12 is a better fit than if they had been
playing against nothing. Yeah, but I understand that. But just I'm not digging this whole real.
No, I think it's awful. I think it's horrible for the sport. I think Charlie Baker is useless as a wet tampon. Yeah, I mean he's useless as like a wet tampon. He's done nothing. He gets paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to sit in his ivory tower and punish coaches for buying lunch for a recruit. Like why? Like you don't need the NCAA. Greg Sankey is the most powerful guy in football. He should just take the SEC and get the Big Ten and do his own thing and screw the rest of them, because the NCAA is just an archaic model that really abused and took advantage of kids.
Why not just whack the whole country up into 4 sections?
No, they should. That's what it was.
And everybody plays. Then make your.
That's what it used to be.
Yeah, make your conferences within that section.
Charlie Baker gets paid garbage.
What's he get paid?
He gets paid $185,000 a year to be the head of the NCAA.
Oh, I thought he got $250, but whatever.
Maybe now it's $250. This was in 2022. I wouldn't do that job for that. No.
But he gets
way.
March Madness.
$185,000.
Like that.
He probably has to write his expense report for lunch and dinner.
He doesn't do anything.
Everything would be on expense if that's what I was getting paid as the head of the NCAA.
Everything. I mean, breathing. I woke up today.
I took my wife out to dinner on the expense report.
I bought extra NyQuil to sleep.
Yeah, I mean he does absolutely nothing.
That's awesome.
That job, you know what? If you paid me $225,000 to run the NCAA, you know what I would do? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Well, I mean, you can't do anything.
That job is way too stressful for $225,000. No way.
My point is, though, he could have stepped in and started the NIL and regulated it before it got to the Supreme Court. And
not for $225,000. No way.
No,
for $225,000 running the NCAA. I show up to your conference meetings. I come into the office from 9 to 5. I take calls from every conference complaining about everything. I listen to their complaints. I pass it off to everybody else to do all the work. And then when my wife calls for my kid's game at 5:30, I'm out of there.
Dave, for $225,000, I'd put my name in the hat to coach Kansas. This was years ago. Charlie White left, and we were sitting down talking like, what if we just wrote a letter
We
to the
offered to
athletic
do it.
director at
Said-
Kansas?
Well, man,
I mean, bottom line,
we wanted the job.
they haven't won anything in like 70 years. Oh, well, actually, they did when they had Mangino there,
Mark
right?
Mangino,
Mark Mangino that they won. But after that, they hadn't won anything like 20
But
years.
yeah, this was after the Les Miles.
Les
scandal.
Miles. Yeah, Les Miles.
Frank
scandal
wanted
there.
to coach Kansas.
I
so
go,
bad.
let's go coach Kansas. You come with me. We'll get
Just pay me
$150,000.
$150,000.
$150,000 and
We'll
build in incentives. Right?
Yes,
But college coaching, the flip side of that is I would 100% do that. I would do that for less with incentives because at least there would be a championship at the end of the horizon.
Right.
What is there if you're the head of the NCAA? Is there anything? Do you walk away from any day saying, "Oh, my job is the greatest job ever"?
Well,
no,
yeah,
you get
stress, 24/7 stress.
The death penalty,
thank
like
you.
SMU did. The
I-
NCAA
yeah.
gets a death penalty.
I just got March Madness. I just got $4.8 billion for March Madness. I mean, that's pretty much it. The NCAA.
I got 4.8 billion. Yep.
Awful.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, and then everybody complains about everything else. That has to be a thankless job. There's some jobs. It's like that. You're like that. They would have to really put a lot of money on the line there for you to take.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Deal with everybody complaining all the time.
Yeah, it's just bitching and moaning.
Dave, I ran a buffet today in my
yes, he did. He did. He runs a great buffet.
I may take 2 1/4 to do the NCAA thing. Don't you want to do a buffet?
Yeah,
Run a buffet.
Yeah.
Hey, we need more meatballs. I'll be right there.
That's a great point. See, the buffet may not be worth it. That's why Pizza Hut got rid of it.
That's right.
The buffet.
They just had the pizza and pasta buffet. See, I do everything. I got everything.
Good. Yes.
I used to love. How great was that buffet back in the day?
Oh yeah, that was the thing, right?
And they had the salad, and they had the salad bar.
Yep.
Are you talking about the Olive Garden?
Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut had a salad bar?
Yeah, they had a little buffet, little pizza in there. And they used to, I love the artificial butter spray that they would put on the bottom of their pans. And when you eat that nice thick crust pizza over there, and you get golden, you get that butter taste in your mouth. Oh, it's great.
Well, Dave, when we get you up here, you'll get to see it. You're going to come visit us.
I'm excited to eat. I got a funny pizza story. When I was my father used to, in the summer, he always worked in the summer. He's a teacher, and he would he ran like a day not a like teen travel like summer camp program, so he would go away to all these like amusement parks and stuff, and he'd be gone. So he would give me like literally like $50 for like the week. Like it was like nothing, like, but I thought it was great. I had $50 for the week, and then I would take that $50, I would go to Pizza Hut, and I would get their 2 for whatever deal, and I'd eat my slice, and then I put those 2 pizzas in the freezer, and I'd eat pizza every single meal, 2 slices every single meal while he was gone, and then I pocketed the rest for having drinks and my friends over.
That's a great idea.
We'd have a great week.
Pizza is the most consumed item in the world.
Well, that's why you make the best.
That's why we make the best. That's right.
You make great pizza? Frank?
That's what he does. Yeah, pizza and wings. Dave, he makes the best.
Pizza's pizza. So realistically,
no,
pizza shop owners are like the heroin, or we're like the crack dealers of food. So like when you grow up, we give you a little taste, right? And you keep eating it there. And then after a while you get addicted to it and you got to come back to it. So you keep coming back to it. So then when you move away, you're always you start getting the withdrawals.
You yearn
you
for
get the DTs, man, because you got to have it. I need that pizza because I grew up on that pizza.
Yes.
So when you go to different areas probably got great pizza too, but you're not used to that.
No,
so your stuff is always the best. Pizza's pizza, man. I love all of it.
No, Jersey pizza is good. Connecticut pizza is good.
Absolutely, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it. Oh, that coal fire stuff.
The sliced pizza is good. I like sliced.
Yep.
But my dad told me that one Jenny bought Cavallo's. Did you know
they
that?
did? Yes.
What are they going to do with it?
Apartments.
Oh, okay. I don't like that.
Dave doesn't even know what we're talking about here.
Well, I don't want the.
He's bringing in local. Hey, here's what happened in Utica yesterday.
Well, I don't want them building apartments there. So okay.
Breaking news, Utica.
This has been another phenomenal episode of Moneyline. I appreciate it. We have Rebel Republic.
Nice graphics, by the way. Nice graphics.
I made that. I made that for us.
You did. Okay.
Yes, I'm trying to
I
be
doubt
like
it,
Dave
but
with
that's
my
okay.
production
Yep,
values
yep,
because I
yep.
fail miserably at it. But yes, another stupendous episode of Moneyline. We wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Frank is going to be here. Dave, are you doing anything for Thanksgiving at your place? Or are you going away? Or
I'll be here.
all right, good. We'll do a podcast on Thanksgiving. I'll make sure to call you.
Please.
All right.
Please do.
For the voice of reason himself, Frank Cristiano.
Yes.
Dave Schuman, the next greatest influencer. Go to his YouTube channel.
1 million subscribers.
Coach Schuman's Sports and Entertainment. Search it and subscribe to his YouTube channel for the best content around. And we might as well just make a TV schedule and we'll just put streaming shows up hour by the hour so you have something to watch because we're the best. And I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe. This is 97.9 Unity Radio.
Unity.
Ernie, I love you.
We need him. Is Ernie going to come on?
Probably not. Ernie, I love you. We'll talk with you soon. And remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back.